Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to N.A.A. Ball Talk, and today we're going to be talking about what should the New York Knicks do with Julius Randle. But before we get into all that, I would like to welcome you all to my new channel, N.A.A. Ball Talk. Here I talk about all things basketball. If you love the NBA, I think you're going to enjoy these videos. We'll be talking about NBA news, rumors, predictions, all that good stuff. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe to become a member of N.A.A. Ball Talk. It goes a long way towards growing the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. Now back to the video. What should the New York Knicks do with Julius Randle? I'm sure you all heard by now, but during the 2018-19 NBA season, the New York Knicks decided to trade their disgruntled star Kristaps Porzingis to the Dallas Mavericks. And in that deal, they attached Tim Hardaway Jr. and Courtney Lee, which were two big contracts that the Knicks signed a few years back. The idea of attaching Hardaway and Lee to that deal was to create two max free agent slots to try to go after these guys coming up in the 2019 free agency, such as Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, but unfortunately nobody was really interested in coming to the New York Knicks. Instead, they decided to sign Julius Randle to a 3-year, $62 million deal. And many Knicks fans at the time, they hated the idea of Julius Randle coming to the Knicks because they're over here hoping for Kyrie and KD and Kawhi or whatever the case may be, and you end up with Julius Randle. Randle was coming off a very productive year with the New Orleans Pelicans. He averaged 21 points, around 9 rebounds a game, while shooting 52% from the field and 34% from three. I mean, those are pretty good numbers for a power forward in today's NBA, and in the Eastern Conference, that's borderline all-star numbers. So me personally, I was not against the Julius Randle signing. I was actually pretty happy. I thought the Knicks got a good young player that could eventually develop into an all-star someday. Looking at it a year later, I could say with little doubt that this wasn't a good signing for New York Knicks. While Julius Randle's numbers did look impressive, averaging 19.5 points a game, 10 rebounds per game on 46% shooting, he wasn't as good as his numbers may make it seem. Throughout times last year, I think Randle's lack of awareness really got exposed in New York. There was times where he'd be double teamed, which happened a lot due to the lack of spacing and lack of shooting from the Knicks. But whenever Julius Randle would get double teamed, he just looked like he didn't know what he was doing with the basketball. He turned the ball over a lot. He just wasn't what the Knicks were hoping for. At times, Julius over-dribbled and kind of like a ball hog on the Knicks. And there was even reports that some of the Knicks players, including R.J. Barrett, were frustrated with Randle's play style. And the last thing the New York Knicks need is another disgruntled star. They don't need R.J. Barrett being unhappy in New York and wanting to leave, because this is another guy that you're trying to paint as the face of your franchise. And the last two guys we painted as the faces of our franchise, being Melo and Kristaps, both had to get traded because it just wasn't working out. There were rumors going around during the offseason this year that the Knicks were looking to move on from Randle. But being that no trade was made and there was really no reports of a trade in place or even talks of a trade, it looks like there's no real interest for Julius Randle on the trade market. That being said, it seems like there's no quick solution for the New York Knicks when it comes to Julius Randle. And I also think it's pretty clear that Julius isn't in the Knicks' future plans. They were shopping him this offseason, and then they went out and selected Obi Toppin with the 8th overall pick. And him and Julius are both at the 4. I don't really see Obi playing the 3. I mean, it might be something that Thibs could experiment with, but can't see Randle playing the 5. He's undersized. He doesn't defend big men well. So it's going to be something to watch in New York with how they handle Julius Randle and Obi Toppin. Who starts games, who finishes games between the two, that's going to be Tom Thibodeau's biggest challenge as the Knicks coach in year 1. My personal preference, I would want Obi Toppin to start. I don't see Julius Randle in the Knicks' future plans at all. You need to give Obi Toppin as much as he can handle in year 1, and you see what this young kid has. However, I think the smartest thing to do for the Knicks would be to begin the season, go with Julius Randle as your starting power forward. While I do want to see Obi Toppin in that starting role and really taking charge as the Knicks' main option on offense, I think the best way to go for the Knicks is to try to build Julius Randle's trade value. You got to give Randle his minutes, you got to give him his shots, and you got to make him look good and attractive for other teams to say, I want this guy on my team. That being said, I understand he doesn't complement other guys on the court, such as R.J. Barrett and Elfrid Payton, because of the lack of shooting, but you need to get this guy out of New York, and it's either you're going to trade him this year during the season and try to acquire some assets in return, or you're going to just waive him in the offseason. Notice how earlier in the video I mentioned the smartest thing for the Knicks to do would be to start Julius Randle to begin the NBA season. If you go with Julius Randle as a starting power forward and around the trade deadline, there's still no interest, no teams are really looking to acquire him. After the trade deadline, I think you should start Obi Toppin and move Julius Randle to the bench and have him be your sixth man. Run the second unit through Julius Randle. Give him his touches in the second unit. If he's going against his backup power forwards and centers, I think he'll still get his numbers. He'll still get his 18 to 20 points a game with his 8 to 10 rebounds, and he'll probably even be more efficient playing against lesser defense. I think he could be very similar to Montrezl Harrell and how he was for the Clippers. He's an undersized big man who's not great defensively and can't really shoot, but he plays against second units and he looks way better. However the season pans out for the Knicks, unless Julius Randle turns into some type of superstar, which I highly doubt, you gotta move on from Julius Randle. Try trading him during the season. If you can't get nothing for him, fine. In the offseason, waive him. Julius Randle's salary for next season isn't fully guaranteed. If you waive him, you can save a lot of money and put that towards acquiring more assets. The Knicks have prioritized the development of R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, and Mitchell Robinson, and I think Julius Randle hurts each of them whenever he's on the court, so it'd be in the best interest for both parties to just move on. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, please leave a like and subscribe. It goes a long way towards growing my channel, and it shows me that you guys are enjoying what I'm putting out there. Thank you very much. Stay safe.